That key word is medium. And what a medium is, you have medium and you have media, right? And matter of fact, I'll just bring it up. I'll just go to the definitions real quick, just so that way the people can see the source. Because you know how it goes when you're dealing with stuff like this. It's good to show the sources so many won't think that I'm just making or free winging it or whatever. But this is when I say media, right? Media, right? The main means of mass communication. And here's some of the examples: broadcasting, publishing, the internet, social media. Those are forms of media, right? But the media, right, is the plurality form of medium. So these are different ways. These are some of the ways up here, as far as many would use to cross certain gateways, right? You guys heard of the Ouija board. You guys heard of the 8 ball. You heard of a number of other things that even in the chemic community, many of the conscious community, many of them are talking about the pineal gland, or all these different things. But in a nutshell, those are forms of media, basically coming from the word medium, right? And medium simply means, let me just go to that real quick, is the intervening substance through which impressions are conveyed to the senses, or a force acts on objects at a distance, right? So now I said all of that to say, let me go back to what I have here, as far as with quoting from this ritual book from the Deltas here. It says, we believe in a spiritual life, but we leave to the individual the selection of the medium for its outward manifestation, right? And these are different, as I pointed out, different forms of mediums, right? Let me go back here.
Even an 8 ball, huh? Pool. Damn.
Yep, the 8 ball. And that Ouija board initially was originally called the Egyptian luck board, right? And here's the original advertisement for it. So that dial, notice that dial here, and I'm gonna show you here, right? Let me give you another image of it, right? That is when they're forming that triangle, right? That pyramid, that delta, that is a form of what? Medium.
My child bigger than y'all, bitch.
Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button. Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
But notice what it says here. This is coming from the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated Grand Chapter Membership Intake Program, their booklet, 1990, page 106. They said that they leave it on the medium, whatever method they use to get to where? This goddess right here. It says that is why Minerva, the goddess of wisdom, is our sorority mentor. Now, I skipped right past the Illuminati portion of it, but you'll see how that deity, this goddess, ties right into, the Illuminati in terms of how they push these programs. Of course, none of us could be Illuminatis, but they push an agenda. You see the influence on this particular sorority. They're worshiping the goddess Minerva, which is referred to as the goddess of wisdom, right? And this is someone that walked away from denounced being a Delta, right? And she says here, I'm denouncing my membership with Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. When I first joined, I was so blinded by my desires to be part of the organization and didn't focus on God's will. Also, if the organization is founded on Christian principles, why did the founders think it was okay to place Minerva, in other words, the Roman goddess, on the shield that I wore across my heart, right? And this is more in that particular goddess. I'm not going to go too deep in it, but you'll see something like I pointed out earlier, universal Etruscans, right? Roman goddess of wisdom, and the moon derived from the Etruscan goddess Minerva, right? Or Minerva, probably a crone aspect of the original Capitoline triad, which still ties into the Etruscans. A Latinized Athene. Her totem was the same as the Athene, Lilith, and the Welsh goddess Blodwed, an owl, which consequently became known as the bird of wisdom and of witches. And this is the triple goddess that I referred to. This is the triple goddess, the Capitoline triad, right? You see the the maiden or the damsel, you see the mother, and you see crone, or which is referred to the hag. And guess what? I'm gonna show an image of how one of the popular singers of today, how they tie into this system here. They actually practicing this. Here's the image, right? Look at their position.
Wow.
Look at what's wrapped around the mother's or the old lady or the hag neck. Because hag, this is not an insult, but that's what they refer to the older woman as hag, right? So you see here, she has what? The yannis around her neck. This is the horseshoe yanni. And look at their position. Notice Beyonce is what? Pregnant here. And notice where the hand of what? The mother here. This is from the what it was, the Grammys, probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
Symbolism's right in our face, and we can't even
right
see
in front of our face. And this is Bloodwet, the owl. Remember this from? I think it was part 2 to the Huntsman or something like that. You also see this in that cartoon that Disney made with the witch, the ice witch or whatever. The owl. That's all tying into this stuff right here. Right in our faces, right? But going back here real quick, the most direct line of descent from Greek societies, right? And this is coming from Delta Segment Sorority, incorporate their handbook, their candidate syllabus, page 30. The most direct line of descent from Greek societies to America is the Freemasons, called Masons. Historians of America fraternities and sororities trace most of our rituals, ceremonies, and rites to the Masons. An examination of Masonic rituals open to scholars suggests that our founders were also influenced by Masonic rituals, symbolism, and initiation experiences, right? So that's just giving you some, some additional information. This is a song that they have here. They have, she's saying that the hymn that they sing, their fraternity or a sorority song, the hymn sounds like a religious spiritual song. However, Jesus is the light and our guidance. We praise not him. We praise him, not Delta or Minerva. And this is just a sample of what she's saying here. She said they arrange biblical things, in other words, biblical words, but they put their own Deltish spin on it to point to their deities, right? And this is an example real quick.
It's the rock.
So it says, though I speak with the tongues of the learned and the profound, have no love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. That sounds familiar. That's coming out of the Bible, but they twisted it around. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1, right? Though I speak with the tongues of men and angels and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal.